If you've watched the SketchUp design video for this project, you probably see a few changes right off the bat. I'm kind of crammed for space, so I ditched the whole leg assembly. I think a single shelf over here is probably better than another drawer, and I've added some solid panels to the side. But I hope this solves the question of whether or not you can or can't build really nice furniture out of 2x4s. The sides of this cabinet are going to be a little bit more than 3 feet tall. Now I need to add a half lap joint down here at the bottom, one right about here somewhere, and then here at the top I actually need a 3-inch wide piece to cover the top, so I'm going to use the full width of a 2x4 and resaw it on the table saw to about 3/4 of an inch thick. All of my joinery for the sides and the doors is going to be half laps. I'm set up here to make the half laps on the ends of my pieces, and after I get all those ran, I've got 4 to cut on the inside of my pieces. I'm really happy with the way that the side pieces turned out, so I'm going to go ahead and glue all these together. Never can have too many clamps. Before I run these panels through the planer, I want to clean up all this glue squeeze out with a paint scraper. Cabinet a really unique look, I'm going to glue this horse print onto a piece of 1/4 inch luan for my panels. The bottom of the sides, I want to make a simple raised panel, and to do that I'm going to use one of my solid panels that I glued together earlier. My intentions were to make this a raised panel, but after a test fit, I really like this little shadow line, so I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as is. With the sides done, I can mill my panels to their final width and length. To hang this cabinet, I've got some more strips that are 3/4 by 1.5, and I'm going to cut matching 30-degree angles on both sides of these so that I can hang it via a French cleat system. Because I'm no longer going to have a solid back panel, I'm adding this bracing strip in the back and one again up here at the top and the front, and this will aid in preventing racking. I'm using a scrap piece of plywood to cover the top. I'm just going to glue it and pin it into place. To cover up that plywood panel at the top, I want to make a 3-piece crown molding. And the main part of that is going to be a 30-degree chamfer. The only thing left for me to do now are the doors, and they're done the exact same way as the side panels. Before I put the panels and the doors, I've got everything clamped together here and centered it with a couple shims. I'm just going to measure and mark for my hinges with a razor blade. Alright guys, I made a huge mistake. This is my door frame with the rabbet. To accept the panel, here's the panel that I cut, and for whatever reason, don't know why, but I used my interior measurements instead of the measurements for the rabbet. So, what I have to do instead is I cut another piece of Luan to go on the inside, where it's supposed to be, and then I'll just feed this in from the front and glue it on that way.